to my Mental Health and Crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions only. I'd like to start by thanking all my subscribers, all my viewers, for all your kindness, your kind comments, your support. I really do appreciate it. And Happy New Year to everyone. Today I'd like to go back and focus on Jack number 2. It was Grizzly True Crime who made this chat. So this is under fair use purpose. I think she does a brilliant job in creating these chats early on. So we're aware there were 3 Jacks from the beginning of this case. We have Jack number 1, that's Jack Decor. Kaylee broke up with Jack D. 3 months before the unalivings. His professor was really concerned about him skipping and dodging classes, and the professor specifically mentioned that he was concerned for Jack D after the breakup with Kaylee. He was the last person that Kaylee Maddie called that night, so that makes him an important witness too. He saw Kaylee and Maddie at the corner club last. So did Jack Schwalter, but we'll come back to Jack Schwalter. Jack D was borrowing a vehicle from his ex-girlfriend Kaylee's family. I find that to be interesting. I wonder if it was the white Hyundai Elantra that was parked in front of his building that we see here rumors about in the beginning. And this was 3 years ago. So you can imagine now that mostly all the reports have come out, there are more questions than answers with the Jacks. Jack D couldn't even remember answering the calls from Kaylee, although it was a FaceTime call. His hands, his face looked really bruised up. And he was the last person to be ruled out. We saw how Kaylee's father was looking at him at the memorial. There's just so many things that is hard to ignore with Jack D, in my opinion. And then obviously, bullet drops of red liquid evidence was found in his house. That makes it just worse. He was referred to counseling by his professor. All red flags to me. People are love to have mental health issues, but it's just so much that's happening right before the quadruples happened. Was this a crime of passion? Or was these unalivings pre-planned? I personally believe 2 weapons was used on Kaylee. We know that Kaylee was moving to Texas, Austin. So maybe he just couldn't live without Kaylee. And we've seen some ex just don't get over. They don't wait for next. And 5 years, 6 years relationship is a long time. Why did he stop talking to the police in the interview and get himself a lawyer after his mother called him is another question. But the fact that he said he can't remember getting the FaceTime call from Kaylee and answering it is a major red flag, in my opinion. I think this guy was really struggling with the breakup of Kaylee. And it's just a thought. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions only. We've heard that Kaylee was dating Matt, and Matt didn't live far from Jack D. Kaylee was dating someone else too. So, I'm not saying it's right, but imagine how Jack D must have felt all broken. And then the love of his life is moving with their dog to Austin, Texas, far away from him. And even in the college, she's moved on. She's dating other people. So how badly did he take this? We have a professor that's concerned for him, so I would have taken that serious too. And then he's lying about his alibi, saying he reached home at 1 a.m. That's what's written in his reports, but he reached home after 1:32 because the screenshot that was taken of the picture with him, Kaylee and Maddie was at 1:32. We know that Kaylee and Maddie came to the grub truck at 1:44. So the only one whose timeline isn't making sense is Jack D for me. Then we have Jack number 2, Jack Kativage, the interesting guy that opened the GoFundMe for Ethan and paid the first £6. He was collecting Venmo'S from his sister, Liz Katovich, who was at the grub truck with Peyton. They all go to the same sorority as Kaylee, Molly Gray, Peyton, and Liz Katovich. Where was Jack Katovich? He's friends with Ryan. Ryan is the same guy that said, #rule number 1, get the biggest target out first. And that would have been Ethan. So I believe Ryan, Jack Kativage, and then you have the Davids and Ethan, and Ethan's brother Hunter, that all go to the same fraternity. So I've always said Sigma Chi fraternity is involved. In my opinion, I've never done the guessing game. From the beginning, I've always said it was two timelines, two separate timelines, because it did not make sense. Kaylee and Maddie were not at the same place as Ethan and Zana. And Ethan and Zana's timeline concerned me from day one because I could see that everyone was dodging it. Everyone was trying to, I don't mean us people, the public, I mean everyone in the college and the mainstream news media was trying to avoid talking about Sigma Chi fraternity and Ethan and Zana, which was very important because that was when they were seen last. Was Zana even seen at Sigma Chi is the question. We know that Ethan's last picture was at the Betty Ball sorority party. Why was Ethan worried for his sister is another very important question. Dylan mentioned that. And the sister mentioned that he texted her. And he said, come and chill with us all. We all miss you. Who is all? Who was Ethan chilling with that day? I really believe the person that dodged the bullet of answering any questions is Jack Katovich. Then you have Jack Schwalter, who the police even didn't take contact with. He contacted the police himself, saying that he heard it from the grapevine. He said he heard it from Snapchat, group Snapchat at 10 a.m. That's exactly what Kaylee, his friend, said to. She heard it on Snapchat. That's exactly what Dave said. That's exactly what WSU Kim said. Everyone heard it before 10 a.m. except the police. Schwalter was so confident when he was talking to the police that he said, yeah, me and my family are deciding whether I should come back after Thanksgiving or so. He was the last person seen with Kaylee and Maddie. He shouldn't have been allowed to go out of state or out of the city itself, out of Moscow. He's a hunter, skilled hunter, professional junior wrestler, skilled with knives, owns a K-bar knife, went to his parents' cabin. I wonder if he could have hit it there, just in my opinion. He used to unalive coyotes and throw them allegedly in front of sororities' houses. And he got thrown out of his fraternity for harassments towards females. So the 3 Jacks and the 2 Davids, the hunters, the 2 hunters, in my opinion, I believe they know more. So does Adam. What did Kelly tell, or what did Maddie tell Adam? But we know that Jack Schwalter has a aggressive behavior. The girl who worked with him at the Flatbread wrote that article on Facebook, allegedly. She said you can check it up with Flatbread in Boise. So Schwalter has a history of poor behavior, concerning behavior towards females, especially. But I think Jack Kativage and David Berry, were both collecting the Venmo'S, opening GoFundMe's. Saeed paid his to David B. What do you think about that? I really believe the live stream, the Twitch live stream is important. The unaliver could have been watching them from there. And we heard that Schwalter got kicked out the night before from the Corner Club, and he blamed Kaylee for that. I've always heard that Jack Schwalter had 2 targets, Kaylee from the 3rd floor and Ethan from the 2nd floor. Ethan got him kicked out of Delta Tau. And then we have Jack Schwalter, who happens coincidentally to come from the same fraternity as Hudson Lindo, who was found unalived in the frozen creek at Paradise Creek. By the way, whatever happened to the guy who pulled out a knife at Paradise Road, the beginning of the case? That was apparently on 13 September 2022, 2 months before the unalivings, and a Vandals alert was put out. So there's a behavior of knife incidents over here, clearly, behavior of hazing and many other things. So what were they trying to allegedly cover up is my question. But I really believe the fraternities, sororities, surviving roommates know it all. And I believe the parents shouldn't sue only WSU. They should sue Moscow, Idaho. The responsibility was given to Moscow. Let me know, guys, what you think. But I really believe Jack 1, 2, and 3. There's Jack Decor, Jack Katovich, and Jack John, Jack Roger Schwalter, all important. Any of them could have been writing on 4chan, or there could have been David B. or David Lodge or Hunter. Any of them could have been Papa Rogers. What makes us believe that it was only the alternatives are males? There could have been a female definitely involved. Some females can be aggressive too. Let me know what you think, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. May the 4 victims rest in peace. And shout out to Outcasts. Please like, share and subscribe to his channel. Shout out to Bianca and shout out to Real Eyes Analyze. She does some great job, great work, helps me with research. Great person. I hope we can get closer to the truth someday. Please like, share and subscribe. It helps the algorithm.